We are live, and the unthinkable has happened, guys. The unthinkable has happened. Crawford has been saying no to Canelo, but now it's a yes. Unbelievable. It's a yes. Let's go ahead and switch over to my face. What is going on, people? Welcome to Boxing Fanatico Live episode. What episode are we on? 43. We're on episode 43 as we keep on trucking through, killing it with these Boxing Fanatico Live episodes with them awesome predictions. Am I right? With them awesome predictions. All right, so we got to start the show off, of course, as we always do, with a Let's Go Champ by Ep.43. Thank you so much, brother. You don't fail to you don't fail to never disappoint, because you're always here on time. Starting off the vibes well with the Let's Go Champ. I always appreciate it. But we got to also put up the other legendary figure other than Ep.47. Of course, it's Michael Buffer. Now let's go ahead and start the show with a Let's Get Ready to Rumble.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble!
And we got Hugh Jakes in the house already. Hold on. We got to give my boy, hold on 1 second. We got to definitely do this for Hugh Jakes right quick. We got to definitely do the members for Hugh Jakes right quick. Hugh Jake, the member. What is going on, brother? Let's see. Everybody else, excuse me. Let's see everybody else here. We got Adrian Dones. What's up, Fanatico? We got Fire. Let's go. We got Max Bloomberg saying, bro, think I played you in Guilty Gear the other day. Laughing. You probably did. I was trying out Guilty Gear Strive. One of the things with after playing Street Fighter 6 is I got really into the whole dynamics of fighting game, because I literally have not played fighting games in that sense since Street Fighter 2. We're talking Super Nintendo. But Street Fighter 6, I've gotten like into such a groove. I really like it that I was like, hey, you know what? Now I understand how to do these motion inputs and all that stuff. Let me try, you know what I'm saying? Let me try other ones to see if I could just kind of work my muscle memory in terms of just playing fighting games. But yeah, Guilty Gear Strive is pretty cool, but I still like Street Fighter 6 over all the ones that I play. ASAP TV. What's going on, brother? King of 47, salute. What's up? My man's got the Bud Crawford icon too, so he ain't playing. I think Terence is just tired of getting the same Tank and Canelo questions over and over again, so he finally entertained it. Nah, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's different. He didn't seem like he was annoyed by it. I think he seemed more like, yeah, let's do it. Now I got the video to prove it from the interview, by the way. One way, so Canelo smooth with the catchweights. I don't know. I think it's winnable at 160, but heavier than that, it might be too much for Bud. Adrian Dones, I would take a Bud versus Canelo fight. I got Bud in that one. Ooh, so Bud is really killing it out here. Hold on. All I play is the game that shall not be spoken on in this channel. Really? I play a lot of other. I mean, I never played fighting games since Street Fighter 2, right? I stopped. Like, I didn't care for them. I played a lot of boxing games though. Like, I went crazy with that. All the Fight Nights 2004 is still my favorite fight night of all time. Fight Night Round 3, my second favorite fight night of all time. And then Fight Night Champion is like my third favorite fight night of all time. But all them boxing games, I played it. Boxers Road, obviously, we've played it here on the channel. Boxing games have always been my forte. But for some reason, it like with fighting games like Street Fighter, once you get over this hump of understanding the game loop and the game logic, it becomes really fun learning everything and getting better, just a little bit better. So I don't know. I'm having fun with it. And Evo just passed, and it was super exciting. Those fights are super exciting to watch. The way they could just put those combos together and the way they predict the psychology is what's fun to watch. Before I didn't know what was happening, but now I could appreciate it more that I'm playing it and understanding a little bit of the psychology of it. To see people do it with this super high level of psychology is actually pretty insane. So you should check it out if you haven't. The final match, Evo 2023, fire. I think if Canelo and Crawford fought, I think Crawford would pressure Canelo. Excuse me. And would win those exchanges like Bivol versus Alvarez back in 2022. I see Crawford by decision if it were ever to happen. Gannon's Gaming Corner. Yo, what up? Let me know if you need any coaching in Street Fighter 6. I got you. Oh, you play Street Fighter 6 like really good like that? Gannon Gaming Corner. What's your ranking in Street Fighter 6? Diamond, Master. Where you at? Any Tekken? Nah. For some reason, Tekken was never like. I never got into that. Like it looks a little bit stiff for me. I don't know. I know a Tekken fan is gonna attack me, right? But you gotta understand it from my perspective. I'm not a fighting game person. I just started doing fighting games. So Tekken to me is kind of like, I don't know, it looks 3D. I don't like the whole 3D element of it where you could move around. And I don't like the fact that it looks stiff. Like everything looks stiff, while Street Fighter 6 looks super stylish and like fluid. But I mean, I could be wrong because once again, I'm not you know what I'm saying? I just started playing them. I wouldn't consider playing Street Fighter 2 when I was younger as being a fighting game person. All right, so let's pull this up. Oh, hold on, Hashim saying something. I always found Mortal Kombat the most appealing, maybe because of the cameo characters. Probably. LOL. Whatever you do, don't start with Mortal Kombat. That game is very difficult. Oh, yeah. So Mortal Kombat gonna be more difficult than Street Fighter 6? I don't know. All right. Anyways, let's go ahead and pull this up real quick so we can see the actual clip of what he says when he's asked about it. Now, before he was asked here in this interview, he was asked a bunch of times. He said, no, I'm not fighting Canelo. I'm not fighting Canelo. But I don't think that, you know what I think happened is that he didn't realize how much bigger a Canelo fight is than an Errol Spence fight. Post beating Errol Spence in the way that he did, a Canelo fight is bigger because now he's a big star. A Canelo fight before fighting Errol Spence meant nothing. A Canelo fight now, I mean, this man is everywhere. He's at CBS in the morning. He's everywhere being interviewed by everyone. I think it's the reality is starting to hit him because he even said in this interview here, he said, I'm only fighting for money now. I don't care, which is fine. Boxers could choose. He did his thing. He is the 4-belt era king. He is the king of the 4-belt era, and there's no denying it. So he did his thing. To him, he's like, what's the next biggest fight? But he could kill two birds with one stone. He could have a big fight and a legacy fight by fighting Canelo Alvarez. And I think he's starting to realize, yo, there's a lot of money in fighting these guys because I'm getting more popular. I've gained popularity because of the Errol Spence fight. And he's realizing that I think he's changing his tune a little bit because he's thinking, okay, well, let's see how, before I get out of this business, let's see how much more I can bring in before I exit boxing. So, I mean, so much so that he's even entertaining, which I think is ridiculous, but he's even entertaining a Tank Davis fight. Now, he's not saying that he would fight Tank Davis. It was a very dismissive way of entertaining it. He said, Tank don't want to do this. There's no reason for Tank to come up. He's such a little guy. I'll stay at 147 for him, but that's just for the money in and of itself because I know that that's just going to be too... basically what he said, it was going to be a cakewalk. It was going to be a cakewalk because Tank is too little for him. But Canelo is big. Is too big. So who's the one that comes out on the negative in this? They could say that Canelo, will you say that Canelo drained himself to fight Bud? Or will you say that Bud's too little for Canelo? You really can't, it's really difficult in this one because both of them are going to be giving something up. Someone's going to be giving up size and the other person is going to be coming down in weight. Now let's go ahead and look at what he said exactly so you guys could see what his exact remarks are to that. Let's pull it up right here. And the interview was with The Breakfast Club. This was 1 day ago. Number 27 on trending. This man is getting popular. This man, forget getting popular. He's popular now. Bud Crawford is popular now. If he really wants to make bank, a Canelo fight, I think the Canelo fight is the swan song. And I said it a few days ago. Canelo fight would be his swan song. Now let's go ahead and pull this up real quick. Let's see what he says. And then we'll go from there.
You know, do we fight this guy? Do we fight that guy? Now what?
I mean, everybody keeps bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird, you know, because you'd have to gain 20 pounds.
Yeah.
But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford.
Look at his face. He doesn't look annoyed. He doesn't look like he's not doing this, right? He's doing one of those things where he's like, yeah, I'm starting to understand how important it is to fight Canelo for money. It just happens to also have legacy attached to it, but it's going to have money attached to it as well, right? Probably the most money he's ever made. Because when an American fighter fights a Mexican fighter, that thing always makes money. It always makes money. It's like Floyd versus Canelo. It's always going to make a lot of money. So let's see what he says.
Well, you know what I mean? Catch weight. We can do something at a catch weight.
What weight you think?
Probably like 160 or something.
But you said you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158. 160, that'd be cool.
Also, I see.
All right, so they're going to ask him about something else. But my man said 160, which is not a catch weight. 160 is actually a division. But he's talking about 158, 160. Let's make this fight happen. Heck, I don't care if he doesn't fight Jermell Charlo and just go straight to Canelo. Because in this same interview here, and let's go ahead and switch over real quick. In that same interview, he said he'll wait for Jermell Charlo to beat Tim Tszyu. So Jermell has to overcome 2 fights. He has to ensure that he beats Canelo, and if he doesn't, luster's going to come off of that fight, obviously. He has to then beat Tim Tszyu, and if he doesn't beat Tim Tszyu, a lot of luster's going to come off of that, and then obviously the fight was just going to be Terence Crawford versus Tim Tszyu. But how big is that going to be with Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez? You can't get any bigger than Terence versus Canelo. You can't. But what do you guys think? Is it too much to ask for Canelo to come all the way down to 160, 158? What do you guys think? Now let me go back to the chat because I was kind of looking at giving my 2 cents. Let's see. In my opinion, it will be close, but Crawford is so good at what he does, and him being at 35 and how he just breaks people down and how he wins every fight is because of the fighting IQ that Crawford has. This is interesting. It's not sounding 50-50 in this chat. It's not sounding 50-50 in this chat. It's sounding very much pro Crawford in terms of who would win that fight. I'm good enough, very knowledgeable. My pen is gold level 4 and my Blanca is platinum 1, but I've stopped playing for the last 2 to 3 weeks. Oh, okay. What do you mean your pen is gold level 4? What did that mean, by the way? Again, I don't know what that means. If he really wanted Canelo, he would move to 168 like Charlo and not ask for a catch weight. Damn, Texas smoke. My man said not ask for a catch weight at 160 when he just said he's capping off at 154. See, but the thing is, he caps off at 154, but he's going to push it to 160. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's pushing it to 160. You got to understand, this man started at 135. Terence Crawford is already technically little for 147. For a Canelo fight, he'll push it a little bit more. He'll push it a little bit more and do a 160. But to go all the way to 168, I don't know, man. That would actually be the most fire thing he could do. Now, if he does it, he might have to do something like that too, just to, because right now, the way everybody's feeling, especially with the recency of what he did, everybody's feeling like Bud is unbeatable. They feel like Bud is unbeatable. Maybe you do something to make it seem like you could be beat, and then you imagine him going to Canelo's comfortable weight class, which is 168. That's asking a lot from the man. That's asking a lot. Because you have to understand, even though I've seen people post, oh, this is his walk around weight. If he walks around at this, what's the problem? The problem is not so much of fighting within your walk around weight. It's the fact that no other fighters fight within their walk around weight. You understand what I'm saying? The playing field is not as leveled as you think it is. Because if somebody comfortably fights at 168, that means they walk around way heavier than that. They might walk around at 180. They might walk around at 185. Who knows? Right? And then they cut down for the 160 for 168. So if Canelo walks around at 180, 185, what you think his rehydration going to be on the night of the fight? It's going to be pretty high. Right? So it's not so much like, oh, if your walk around is this weight class, it's still not necessarily leveled in the sense that it's exactly 1-for-1. Now, if you can walk around at that weight, there's still a certain element of you should be able to pull this off. But it's still very, very, very difficult. Floyd Mayweather is a perfect example. He gave up a lot of weight, but he was able to overcome from skill. That's why I'm hoping that Terence Crawford could do the same. Both Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather started, I believe, at 135. I could be wrong about Floyd. He may have started at 130, but I believe he was somewhere around there. I think maybe 130. Floyd started at 130, made it all the way up to 154. 168, is it asking too much for Bud to do an immediate jump from 147 to 168? I'm not sure. I feel like Errol Spence could make that jump much easier, even though that's still asking too much of Spence. But this would definitely level the playing field, and it gives Bud Crawford the ability to become undisputed at 168 if he pushes it just 8 pounds more. Just 8 pounds more. Just to capture the undisputed titles. He would be cemented as the 4-belt king. He's already the 4-belt king, but it will be nearly impossible to overcome what he did, right? And even if you do, even if somebody ever becomes a 3-division, or even he has a potential if he fights Canelo, if he does 2 more fights, if he fights Jermell at 154, after Jermell beats Tim Tszyu, captures that title, and then goes up to fight Canelo, he has the potential to be 4-division undisputed. All he got to do is push it a little bit more. I know it's asking too much, but he's an amazing fighter. He's an amazing fighter. Can he do it? Is it possible? I don't know. He wants it at 160. It's okay, I guess. It's fine. It won't be as magical as if he does it at 168. That's my opinion. Yeah, he clearly said the Tank fight would just be a money fight. Yeah, Canelo fight intrigues me. Yeah, both Canelo and Tank are money fights. They could probably make money because a lot of casuals don't really understand weight classes anyways. They're going to say, oh, that's Terence Crawford, the guy who just destroyed Errol Spence. He's fighting, Tank. This is huge. That's what a casual is going to think, right? And they're not going to understand that, it's not really that big of a deal because Tank is so little. He's got to come up. There's a catch weight. There's so many different things. It's not what you think it is, right? Or it's at 147. It's not what you think it is. Tank, I think, could make 147 because Tank be making 140 like nothing. He could probably make 147, but it's still too much, right? It's still too much. It's going to take away from the luster of what Terence Crawford is going to do if he beats a Tank anyways, right? So that's just like a whatever fight. A Canelo fight does both. It does legacy for Crawford and money for Crawford as well. I don't really know which one makes more money. Last year, I would have said Canelo. Now, after what Tank did with Ryan Garcia doing 1.2 million, I don't know which one is more financially viable for Crawford. But I do know that the legacy one, the one that's more closely attached to him saying he the best, one of the best fighters of all time, is fighting Canelo and beating him. At 160, it's interesting. At 168, it's magical. But it's also very, 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 very difficult. But I would definitely say he should go for the Jamel fight first after Tim Tszyu, capture Undisputed there, go up against Canelo, capture Undisputed there, and then, like, you can't even mess with this, man. He will be, 5-division champ, right? He'll be it would make him a 5-division champ, right? Yeah, five divisions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 5 divisions, 4 of which he was undisputed in. 4 divisions where he's undisputed. You would make the what's that thing? The finish line or the goalpost would be moved tremendously far. So far. You'll make it so difficult for anybody to ever do what you did. Like how Floyd won against 23 world champions and moved the goalpost so far away that nobody could reach it. Crawford would do the same thing in terms of undisputed in the 4-belt era. It'll be impossible. And if they add another world title, which I hope they don't because it's too many world titles anyways. But if they add another world title in the future, it won't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it will be even harder to be undisputed in 4 divisions. Even harder. All right, let's see. Exactly. Canelo is way bigger name after Crawford defeated Spence. People actually wanted the Crawford versus Alvarez fight, but like you said, Crawford is just wants to fight for money and for popularity. Yeah, but like I said, it meshes with what the audience wants at the same time. I think the weight, Canelo below 160, I don't think that will happen. I think Canelo knows better if he came down below 160. That will help Crawford more. If they ever fought in terms of weight. I'm petitioning for Crawford to just go to 168. Test out the waters at 154 and just go to 168. See what you could do over there at 168 against Canelo Alvarez. I know that's hard. I know it's hard, but that might be the best route for Bud because it's the swan song route, right? Once he fights Canelo, he could literally in the ring, if he wins, say, yo, I retire. 4-division undisputed champion. What more can you ask for? And then at that point, you could easily start putting him in the conversation of one of the best fighters of all time. I don't care about romanticizing the past fighters. I don't care about, when it was in black and white, you can never beat the black and white. I don't care about any of that stuff. If this man goes up that far and beats Canelo and becomes undisputed in that division at 168, what can you say? Like, you have to put him in the conversation as one of the best fighters of all time. You have to. You have to. Because he would have in his resume a Jamel fight. He would have an Errol Spence fight. He would have a Gamboa fight when Gamboa was undefeated. That's important. He'll have a Canelo during Canelo's heyday, although Canelo, they're saying that he's losing a little bit of luster because he lost to Bivol. I feel like Canelo's still undisputed at 168, right? He's still the man. So you'll have that under your belt. And then people could argue, he's fighting a better Canelo than the Canelo that Floyd Mayweather fought. A more experienced Canelo than the Canelo Floyd Mayweather fought. And you can have that argument can be made, right? Because popularity is not everything. Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, that was big. Manny was popular. Crawford beat everybody who was a world champion at every division. So popular or not, he made sure that the best fighters in the world, even if you didn't know who they were, he was able to beat them. He cleaned out every division that he was in. Every division he's ever been in. Actually, no, except 130. But every division except 135. Every division other than 135, he's cleaned it out. Right? He's cleaned it out. So he's actually a beast, man. He's a beast. I doubt if Canelo fights Bud, especially when he gets dog walked by Charlo. Just saying. Oh, so Gettings. Hold up. Gettings thinks that Canelo is going to lose to Jermell Charlo. Is that correct, Gettings? Gaming Corner? You think that Canelo is going to lose to Charlo? ASAP TV. Who denied his greatness after Spence ass whooping? Yeah, man, he really beat up Spence, man. No one's denying his greatness. I'm just trying to say that the more he does, the more the conversation becomes much more palatable to say he was the best of all time. He one of the best fighters of all time. You could actually start saying that without people rolling their eyes or pointing at something here and there. You have things to say. Hey, look, he went up all the way to this weight. Just the fact that he jumped up to 168 and beat a person who was undisputed, a person who beat all these other guys, right? Beat a Golovkin, you know what I'm saying? Beat a Kovalev, knocked him out when the Kovalev was a crusher, and that he beat that guy. That's a big deal. That's a big deal. And if he could beat Jermell, if Jermell goes and beats Tim Tszyu, which I think Jermell will beat Tim Tszyu. This is what I think is going to happen. Jermell's going to fight Canelo. Canelo's going to beat Jermell. Jermell's going to come back down and fight Tim Tszyu for the WBA title, I believe, the one that he was stripped of. He's going to fight him. He's going to win that title. Then Crawford's going to fight Jermell. After Jermell, Crawford has the potential to fight Canelo. Now, the choice will be in Crawford's hands. I'm sure that Canelo wouldn't mind fighting Crawford at 168. 160 might be asking too much of Canelo. But if Crawford moves up to 168, that whole story, it will be a storybook ending. It will be a storybook ending for Terence Crawford. And by the way, if he does that, the 3-fight deal is becoming very, very thin for Canelo Alvarez. Because then he fights Jermell. He wouldn't be able to fight anybody else other than Crawford and Benavidez. Because if he fights anybody else, like an Errol Spence, for example, that's going to take away from the Benavidez fight. If you mix in Terence Crawford in that equation. If I was PBC, I would probably, if I was PBC and I was trying to be smart with financially, is a bigger deal for Crawford to fight Canelo than for Spence to fight Canelo. I would probably venture a guess that Crawford versus Canelo would make more money than Spence versus Canelo, because I think Crawford siphoned a lot of Errol Spence's audiences. A lot of the casuals that knew about Errol Spence but didn't really know about Crawford. I think he siphoned that audience. So then he also won. So there's the aura of him winning. I think a Crawford fight is more financially viable for PBC. What would make sense, in my opinion, with PBC is to just have, after Crawford fights Jermell, have Spence fight Jermell, and then maybe after that you could fight Canelo. I don't know. I honestly think that the best thing for PBC is to put Boots versus Spence. But 147, Boots will have to go up to 154. He would have to go up to 154 or something. I don't know, man. It's tough. It's like you know what I'm saying? Who do you choose? Who do you choose to? Do you give it to Spence just because Spence is the guy that you've been rocking with for so long? Or do you give it to Crawford because then you really cash out on that $100+ million deal that you did with Canelo for 3 fights? Because imagine you get a Jermell fight in, you get a Crawford fight in, and a Benavidez fight in. Those are amazing, you know what I'm saying? Amazing, amazing fights. Now, if Canelo fights Benavidez before he fights Crawford, beats Benavidez, and then fights Crawford, the fight is even bigger. The fight is even bigger. But we're just going to have to wait and see, man. We're just going to have to wait and see. I still think that Canelo will fight Benavidez in May. That is my prediction. And we'll see in May if it happens. But that's my prediction, that in May, Canelo will fight Benavidez after he fights Jermell Charlo. You wouldn't believe the amount of excuses. I've heard in the last few weeks. Oh yeah, a lot of excuses coming, but that happens in every single fight. I'm telling you, I remember vividly. I'm even in All Access, guys. Mayweather Canelo. I'm in the All Access episode. I think I'm in episode 1. I'm in the crowd. I'm right in the front when he went to New York because I used to live in the Bronx. I'm right in the front in the press conference, the first press conference they did in Times Square. They did it outside. They built a whole stage and everything outside. I'm right in the front, and Floyd Mayweather was like right there on the stage, very close. Everyone around me, I'm talking about there wasn't one person that was going for Floyd that was around me except me. They were all like, Floyd done did it this time. He bit off more than he could chew this time. This is going to be, Canelo's going to retire him. I know it sounds crazy because we seen the fight. But before we saw the fight, this is what people were saying. Yo, why would Floyd do this, man? This is dumb. Canelo's way too big for him. Way too big. He's going to lose this fight. All of this was being said around me. Fast forward, Canelo was too young. He was too young. And I bet you it's the same people that was around me that was saying that it was over for Floyd is the same people that's saying now, years later, whenever asked about it, that Canelo was just too young for the fight. Hell yeah, too much to ask. My bad, Ken. Speech to text app sucks. LOL. Okay. So Ken, Gannon's Gaming Corner. Ken is your main in Street Fighter 6, or what did you say was the other person that you have in gold? In gold? You said gold, right? Or platinum? Did you say platinum? I'm sorry, I forgot. But who's your main? And what was the highest one again? I forgot. If you could write it again. If they fight, I'll take Crawford, but Canelo's the only one at or near Buzz weight that has a chance. Yeah. I agree, James. I agree. I 100% agree with that. That's why the fight will be intriguing. Not only is Canelo popular, but that will probably be the fight where people say, okay, this is the person that has the chance to beat the other person. Any way you flip it. Because Canelo's a superstar that doesn't lose. So Crawford has a chance to beat him. Crawford has just dismantled Errol Spence. Canelo has a chance to beat him. So that's one of those things where it's a really good fight. In where Crawford is now after beating Spence, it's a really good fight. Before Crawford beat Spence, that fight didn't make no sense. Now that Crawford beat Spence, it's a really good fight. All right, let's skip down. Let's skip down a little bit. Let's see. I was supposed Bud would fight Tank. Tank is Shakur Stevenson food. Yeah, I was supposed Bud. I wasn't supposed Bud would fight Tank. I mean, Tank. Bud just wants money fights. That's what he said in the Breakfast Club. He said it's just money fights now. Because really, to him, the goal was undisputed at 147 and beating Errol Spence. That was what was on his mind that he visualized for so many years. And he did it. So to him, he feels like he's reached the end. I don't think he knew how popular he would become from doing that. And now that he's just like this, becoming this household name, he probably thinking to himself, hold on. I could probably fight a few more. Like if Tank want, you know what I'm saying? We can make millions off of the Tank. We can make millions off of Canelo. Let's do it. I don't think the Jermell Charlo fight is going to be that popping. I think it'll be all right. I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be that popping. Like, I don't think it's going to make that much money. Not anywhere near the same amount of money that a Tank or a Canelo fight can make. Now, I don't want the Tank fight because that's literally just a money fight. I do want the Canelo fight because that's more than just a money fight. That's also a legacy fight. Because Tank, he's popular, but he has the regular belt, the regular WBA. He only fights for money. Tank only fights for money, and that's a smart thing. Like, they did the smart thing with Tank. They found a way to make money with Tank, even though he's not fighting the best fighters in the world. That's smart. But that also means that when he fights Bud, he's fighting the best fighter in the entire world. For like the first time. He's fighting the best guy. So it's not as intriguing to me to see that, especially with the weight difference. But with Canelo, you got to come up. Canelo, I don't know, man. With Canelo, it makes a lot more sense. And if he could somehow just, even if he gives up some weight, just because of the skill, he gives up a little bit of weight and he fights Canelo, it's going to be fire. We're having the same conversations that people are having with Inoue. With Inoue. The domination was so crazy where people thought it was closer and they showed, nah, this person is nowhere near my level. Now we're thinking, who the heck can even give you a challenge? You got to move up. You got to go way higher. You got to go 3 weight classes until we find somebody that we think is viable. Like a Tank. A Tank in a new weight fight would be crazy. But it's a tough fight to make. It's tough because the new weight got to go up. But it's an easier fight than Crawford and Canelo, to be honest. Because Inoue is very, very close to getting to where Tank is at 135. But that's what happens when there's a 50-50 fight and you completely dismantle the guy. It's like, what are you? Are you man? Are you machine? Like, what's going on? Who's going to beat you? We don't think anybody at 147 is going to beat Crawford. The people that are saying Boots is ducking, or Crawford is ducking Boots, you have to have an agenda. You have to have an agenda. Because to say that Crawford is ducking Boots would mean that you think that Boots is better than Errol Spence. Boots ain't even in the pound for pound list. But in your mind, Boots got to be better than Errol Spence for Crawford to duck Boots. Crawford just dismantled Errol Spence Jr. He doesn't want to fight Boots. Like, just because somebody don't want to fight somebody. Like when Benavidez didn't want to fight this dude, David, whatever, I forgot his last name. When he didn't want to fight him, was it Morrell? David Morrell? When he didn't want to fight him, people are like, oh, he ducking him. How is Benavidez ducking him, but he's trying to fight the likes of a Virgil Ortiz? Or who was he trying to fight? I think it was Virgil Ortiz. He's trying to fight a higher caliber fighter. So how is he ducking? How is he ducking? That's not a duck. It just makes zero sense for Bud Crawford to fight Boots. If Bud beats him, nothing comes out of it. It was just, oh yeah, he was never tested. Oh yeah, he never fought anybody of this caliber. So, okay, now we know he's not that good. So, all right, you just wasted your time, Bud. Thank you. It don't make sense. It don't make sense. You have to admit first that you think Boots is better than Errol Spence before you can start saying that Terence Crawford is ducking Boots. You can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't. You can't have both. You can't think that Errol is better than Boots, but then Crawford beat Errol, but he's ducking Boots. You can't do that. That don't work like that. The logic breaks. The logic breaks. He's not ducking Boots. It just doesn't make any sense. It's not for money. It ain't for legacy. It ain't for nothing. Boots don't got no belts. It ain't for nothing. So it's no point. He should just move up, fight Jermell, and fight Canelo, and he could call it quits right there. There's nothing else for him after that. There's nothing else. He don't need nothing else after that. When the Canelo Crawford talks heat up, Canelo would take another fight at 175, the fight nobody asked for. We aren't getting this fight. Nah, bro. That's not gonna happen, man. It's a big money fight. I don't think Canelo ever turned down a big money fight. Did Canelo ever turn down a big money fight? No. The only one we haven't seen is the Benavidez, but he fought Caleb Plant. That was a big money fight. He fought him. He fought Floyd Mayweather. That was a big money fight. He fought Gennady Golovkin. He fought Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. That was a big money fight. He doesn't say no to big money fights. He doesn't say no to big money fights. He says yes. And Crawford is a big money fight. He's gonna say yes. He's gonna say yes. That's my opinion. He's gonna say yes to that. My pound for pound list right now: number 1, Bud; 2, Usyk; 3, Canelo. You got Canelo number 3? I would put Inoue number 3. No, I would put Inoue number 2 and Usyk number 3. That's how I have mine. I don't have Canelo up there because Canelo just lost to Bivol. The way I see the pound for pound list is you can't have a person, because basically what the pound for pound list is saying is this person could beat everybody else if the weight was the same. And we already know that Canelo actually went and fought Bivol. So, and he got outboxed by Bivol too. It wasn't even like a knockout fight or whatever. It was just Bivol doing things smarter than Canelo. So I can't put Canelo above Bivol when he lost to Bivol, because then it kind of delegitimizes the pound for pound list, in my opinion. I do know that people have pound for pound lists based off of different things, different criteria in their heads, like what they done in their whole career, where they stand. Even popularity is always a big deal for some people. For me, popularity is not so much of a big deal. I just look at the pound for pound list as, do I think this person could beat everybody else, even on the list and in the world after that? And if they can't, then it's like, I can't have that person above anybody I think they could beat. Anybody I think could beat them, I would have that person above them. So right now I have it as Crawford number 1. Then I have it as Inoue. Then I have it as Usyk number 3. Who you got, Tank or Inoue? That's a tough one, but I would have to say that I think Inoue would beat Tank, because Inoue has fought tougher competition. Inoue has fought tougher competition, believe it or not. Because I don't care what you say in terms of where the weights are, where the weights aren't, or how much weight you have, or your division versus his division. If you're not fighting the best people, and the only way to measure that is you're fighting the people who hold the official world title belts. If you're not doing that, then you're not fighting better competition than somebody that's at a lower weight class who is doing that. I don't care how popular somebody is and how popular somebody isn't. It's all about the way if there's nobody popular in the division, the best way to know, do they carry a world title fight? A world title belt. They do. That's the best in the division. That's the easiest way to do it. There's only 4 belts. Do they carry any one of those 4? Do they hold all 4 of them? They're better than everybody. And they beat everybody that was the best. So I think Inoue has better experience in terms of fighting better competition and fighting at the highest level. So if they were to fight, it would be a big money fight. I think Tank is a money fight because they marketed him very well, but I do believe that Inoue, in terms of fighting and winning, would be Tank, even though Tank is more popular than Inoue. But to me, it's not about popularity. It's never been about popularity. If Inoue is allowed to use both his hands and is allowed to eat on fight night, I got Inoue. Why do you think that they're going to make him not do, you know what I'm saying? Like, he only had a rehydration clause. That's all he did. That's all he put on there. A rehydration clause. He ain't add no extra stuff. And he's probably going to put stipulations just to feel like the A-side. But I don't think that they're not going to let him eat. And there's not going to be a rehydration clause because he's little. So that's going to be out the window. They'll probably make maybe the ring, it'll probably be a little bit bigger or something. Something like that. I don't know. But in terms of rehydration clause, that we don't have to worry about when it comes to Inoue, because he's moving up. He's not coming down against Tank. So I think the stipulations are going to be fine. I think what was it that they said? That they want to do random blood and urine? That's it. That's all they got to do is random blood and urine. I think he'll be okay with doing that. People like to say whatever suits their agenda rather than look at reality. Yeah, Hashim, I 100% agree. Like, they will snap their own logical consistency just to, like, they will pretend like when they're talking about this thing that all these other things that they agreed upon don't exist while they're talking about this thing over here. They'll be like, yo, why is Bud Crawford ducking Boots? He's ducking Jerron Boots and his wild. I call it duck. Meanwhile, they think that Errol Spence is better than Boots. And then Crawford just dismantled Errol Spence. And when Crawford fought for Errol Spence, it was for 3 belts, 3 world titles that he captured. And Boots don't have no world titles. Ain't never had a world title. But somehow in their minds, he's ducking Boots after beating Errol Spence in an impressive fashion. And we got a super chat. Hold on. Is my okay, yeah, we got a super chat here. Love Seat Shorty in the house. What's going on, brother? We got a $5 super chat. That means we gotta do the $5 super chat.
He has done it from time to time.
Video. Let's do that again. Let's pull that up. Woo! All right, let's see what Love C Shorty got to say. If Canelo fight Bud, he better stay away from that jab like he did with Jacobs. If Canelo fight, okay, all right, yeah. If Canelo fights Bud, I mean, I feel like Bud is gonna figure Canelo out because I think Canelo is he's another one of those fighters, man. He got good upper body movement. He got horrible legs. He's cement in his feet. But he got good upper body movement. But he has that very not that many layers to him. But what he has, he does better than 99% of the fighters in the world. He's one of those. And I think that when you're one of those, the adjustment fighters can always win. The adjustment fighters, the ones that figure things out on the fly, the freestylers could always win in a one-on-one boxing match. So even if he moves away from that jab, I think that Crawford still got a lot of stuff in his back pocket that he's gonna pull out for Canelo on fight night. All right, let's see. Canelo said no to big money fights. Which big money fight? Which one? You got to tell me which is the big money fight he said no to. Which big money fight? Because this man fought everybody. He fought Mayweather. He fought Golovkin. He fought the Crusher. He fought everybody. Who did he not fight other than Benavidez, which is he's lining himself up to fight right now? Come on, Gettins. Inoue over Usyk, both undisputed and went up, but Usyk beat the man at heavyweight and got 3 belts. Fulton a better win over AJ. Yeah, Fulton's a better win over AJ. Yes, 100%. And not only is it a better win over AJ, the way he won was in such a dominant fashion that has to come into play because the way I think about the list is not just the one-for-one nature of beating a specific fighter. I do think that Fulton is a better fighter than AJ is. Even though AJ is more popular, I think Fulton's a better fighter. But on top of that, even if they were the same, even if Fulton was slightly less skillful than AJ. If Fulton was on the pound-for-pound list a few times and on a few people's pound-for-pound list, AJ wasn't. So even on the consensus front, he's a better fighter than AJ. But even if he was a little bit less than AJ, the way that Inoue won that fight makes it even more powerful of a stance that no one under him he could beat. The only person that I think could beat him if everything was the same is Terence Crawford. Everyone else, I don't think they can. And that's how I create my pound for pound list. That's how I do it in my head. It's not about is this person more popular, less popular? I don't care about that. I don't care about that. The same people that said Bud is ducking boots have Tank on their pound for pound list. You can't even have Tank on your pound for pound list. If you have Tank on your pound for pound list, you're bugging. That's like on the flip side. Like, if somebody really loves Canelo, they're putting him third, right? Or fourth, or wherever he is. Above Bivol. You can't put him above Bivol. I know you like Canelo. I know that shit you ride with him. But you can't do that. The same way you can't even put Tank on the list. Is he popular? Yes. But is this a pound for pound list about who could sell out the most arenas and the most pay-per-views? No, it isn't. The pound for pound list is a mythical list of people of who is better if the weight was the same. It's one of the reasons why many of the people that go up in different divisions and fight in multiple weight divisions tend to have a better chance of being on the pound for pound list if they're dominating multiple divisions, because they're almost essentially creating that narrative for you in terms of showing that if they go to different divisions, they can still dominate because they're that skillful. And then that's why those people like a Usyk and a Canelo and a Floyd Mayweather and a Manny Pacquiao, they have a better chance of being on that pound for pound list. But the root of a pound for pound list is, can this person beat everyone under them? And if they cannot, in a theoretical fight where the weight was the same, then if you can't see that happening, then they can't be on the list. And that's why I can't put Canelo above Bivol, because Bivol actually beat him. So to me, it would just take away from the legitimacy of the list. And then I can't put Tank when Tank hasn't fought a world champion, an official world champion, in such a long time. Definitely not in his not at the 135 division. Why is Tank at 135 and there's like, oh, is he gonna fight Shakur? That shouldn't even be a question if he's trying to be the best at the 135 division. But he's not trying to be the best. He's just trying to be the best at making money. So if you're putting him on the pound for pound list just because he's popular, you're not using the pound for pound list correctly. You're just doing it because he could sell out or whatever, and that makes you feel good, but you're not using the pound for pound list correctly. You're just not. You're just not. Let's see. When you dropping a pound for pound list, I don't know. I gotta construct it. I gotta construct it and then put it out. I don't know. Do you guys want me to drop a pound for pound list? I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. If y'all want me to drop a pound for pound list, I'll put a pound for pound list together. Oh, we got another super chat by Love Seat Shorty. Hold on. I gotta give him the thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. By the way, if y'all didn't know, I know most of y'all know already, but if y'all didn't know, that's the sole developer of Bloody Knuckle Street Boxing, an amazing boxing game that you could can they still? I'm not even sure if you could still download the demo. I already got the demo, so I don't know if you could still download it. So, but Love C Shorty, let them know if you could still download it or not, if it's still available for download. But yes, he's making an amazing boxing game. You guys should definitely check it out. Go to his channel. He got all the details on his channel. Who does Boots beat to earn a Spence fight? Well, I mean, Boots is like, you know what I'm saying? Technically, Boots has earned a Crawford fight. He's earned a Crawford fight in terms of the ranking system, right? In terms of the ranking system. I would say at 147, he's probably the third best out of Crawford, Spence, and himself. I would say he's the third best. So I think he has earned a fight with Spence. Because, I mean, it's one of those things like getting credit. right? Getting credit for your before you have a credit card. It's like, well, the only way we give you a credit card is if you have good credit. It's like, yeah, but I need a credit card to get good credit. Well, get good credit first, then we'll give you a credit card. How do I do that if you don't give me the credit card to get the good credit? So it's basically one of those kind of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where it's like he's not going to have fought a Spence or a Crawford at 147 before he fights a Spence or a Crawford at 147. But in terms of the ranking system, he's up next. And if he don't get the Crawford fight, because I don't think he's going to get that, a Spence fight will make sense. But the thing is, I think Spence wants to move up to 154 even faster than Crawford. Although Spence has been at 154 his entire career. He could stay there for a Boots fight if they want to cash out on the loss. Because you could get a big fight out of that. And if Spence wins, you could push a redemption story. If he loses, then you got another superstar on your hands. Or another superstar that you're building in Boots. So there's one of those things where they could work that out somehow if they could get that fight going. What's your criteria for pound for pound? I already said my criteria for pound. Oh, by the way, guys, look, it's still open for a few more days if you guys want to check it out. Just go to his channel, go to the video that he posted on the demo, and it'll tell you where to go. I think you have to go into the Discord, into his Discord, and you'll be able to download it. But like I said, my criteria just has to be: do I think, in theory, if the weight was the same, that this fighter can beat everybody else below them? If I don't think that they could beat anybody else below them, then they can't be in that position wherever they are. That's how I set up my pound for pound list. That's how I set up my pound for pound. But I'll create a pound for pound list. Definitely do that. Do a pound for pound. That will be a dope video. Yeah, you know what? I'll do a pound for pound list video. I'll put a pound for pound list video together, and then we could do it like that with the tiers. Just put them on a pound for pound list and see where everybody lies, and then it'll be a tier list. It'll be 10, and then we'll go from there, right? We'll go we'll do it that way. If you guys want me to do something like that, we'll do it like that. I think that'll be a fun thing. I love doing tier list stuff. I've done tier list stuff before. I think this will be fun to have 10 and then just create a pound for pound list like that. All right. Hell yeah, we want you to make a pound for pound list. Also, I need a good Floyd documentary to watch. Any suggestions? A good Floyd documentary? Well, I mean, I got a good one on I did it years ago before I even started talking about boxing video games. If you want to check that out, it's on my channel. I think that's the video that got the most views on my channel still to this day. I think that one has the most views. If you want to check that out, but if not, I mean, there's a lot of different ones on YouTube. An official one, like through an official media place. I'm not sure if there is a Floyd Mayweather documentary like that yet. There might be in the future, I'm sure, because he was very, very popular. But there's only like YouTube documentaries. But if you want, you can check out mine. Mine's is pretty good. Boots about to fight his best fighter out of Alaska next because he's not getting a name anytime soon. Maybe Stanionis. Yeah, that'll be a good one. Stanionis will be a good one. Thurman's supposed to be Boots' next fight, but Thurman doing what he did to Spence to Boots all over again. Yeah. I mean, listen, it made sense for Thurman to do that. I mean, it was a lose-lose at the time. Now, if he would have fought, Errol Spence now, it's a different story. But back then, it was a lose-lose. Oh, another thing, too. Tomorrow is the fight with Oscar Valdez versus Emmanuel Navarrete. Do you guys want me to go live for that fight? I'm only going to do it if you guys want me to do it. Because that's a fight where people are not going to come over to watch it. I'm going to be watching it on my own anyways. So do you guys want me to go live for that fight so we could commentate and talk about the fight and hang out for that one. Just let me know. If you do, I'll do it. If you don't, I won't do it. It's up to you guys. Oh, we got AP whatever. I'm gonna always be here, gang. Yo, what's going on, brother? Thank you for showing up. Let's see. Go live. I'll watch with you. I say you do it, but that's just me. Okay. All right. I'm thinking about it. I might go live for that fight so we could commentate the fights and hang out. Now they talking about Shakur versus Frank Martin fight. Wouldn't it look good if Frank turned that down after they were calling for it months ago? Yeah. Also, it's looking like the fight with Devin Haney and Prograis is under a little bit of trouble. It doesn't look like that fight is set to go. Doesn't look like that fight is set to go. Let me see something real quick. Let me pull something up real quick right here. I want you guys to see this and let me know what you think. This is a little bit weird here. It's a little bit weird here. Breaking news, right? Fight hype. Let's see what Regis Prograis says.
FightHype.com here with Regis Prograis, WBC, 140-pound champ. How you feeling, man?
All good, bro. Just another Thursday. All good, baby.
All right, man. I mean, you're saying you're all good now, but you was pretty pissed off the other day.
Yeah. I mean, I'm cool, bro. It is what it is. You know, it's boxing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but I'm cool.
After hearing what Devin had to say, not wanting to fight on the same day as, the pretty big fight between Fury and Ngannou, the part of you kind of look at it and be like, okay, I understand where he's coming from.
So let me ask you this. What day is Fury and Ngannou?
October 28th, I think.
That's not the date I signed for. That's not the date I signed for. I don't know. Honestly, bro, I'm glad we doing this because we gonna put this out here. I don't know what's going on. Like, bro, it's shit going. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if who on the same page. That's not the date I signed for. So I mean, I don't know what I can tell people. I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you for sure that's not the date I signed. I signed the contract, and that's not the date. So I don't know what. I don't know now. I don't know what's going on, bro.
So what does that mean? That is very confusing because Devin Haney did post a tweet saying, man, this dude's tripping. He wants to fight on October 29th, but I ain't trying to fight up against Tyson Fury versus Ngannou. But he's saying that he ain't signed for a Tyson Fury versus Ngannou clash. He's saying he signed for November. So what's going on right now with Devin Haney? Hey, listen, I wouldn't mind if that fight falls through and he fights Shakur Stevenson. I wouldn't mind it. I would not mind if that fight falls through and then he fights Shakur Stevenson. He's champion in recess, which means he could decide to just fight Shakur Stevenson, and if he wins that fight, he would be undisputed still. Or he would regain his undisputed status. I wouldn't mind it because now it's definitely looking like Lomachenko is not going to fight Shakur Stevenson. Bob Arum even came out and made a statement saying that it's looking like Lomachenko wants to take time off. So if Lomachenko is not fighting Shakur Stevenson and Devin Haney is making up all these weird shenanigans about fighting Prograis, and Prograis is talking about he's ready to move on to Broner or fighting his mandatory and Sander Martin. If he moves on, we might get the Devin Haney versus Shakur Stevenson fight. I would love to have that fight. Oh, I got this on still. My fault. I would love to have that fight. What do you guys think should happen, though? And what do you guys think about that? That's weird. Why is Haney posting stuff on Twitter, but they're like, it's not, like, I don't know. Prograis could be capping himself. He could be capping, but I don't know why he would be. But he could be. Maybe Prograis don't want to fight Devin Haney. But I haven't seen Devin Haney say a response to this. Normally, if like Devin Haney was in the right, he would be like, yo, what are you talking about? Like, we said that you told me this date. Like, you didn't say, we ain't saying that. No contract didn't say no November. You gave me a counter offer for this date. But he's not doing that. So we're going to have to wait and see. Won't be watching the fight, but you should anyways. Okay. Would you stop by while I'm doing the, you know what I'm saying? While I'm commentating the fight, even if you're not watching the fight? Yeah, Haney and Regis fight the same day as Fury and Francis, but the Fury fight is in Saudi Arabia, so there's a bit of a time difference there. Yeah, but still, bro, it's not. But according to what this dude is saying, Prograde, he's saying that it ain't even on the same day. Oh, snap. Then I guess there's some fishy business going on. Yeah, man. Is Haney using that as an excuse? I don't know. See, I don't want to jump on Haney's back and say it's Haney doing this. I don't know for sure who's the one, being weird here. But it is a weird situation where one person's saying, I wasn't fighting. We're not fighting on the 28th. The other person's saying, well, we can't make this fight on the 28th because you want the 28th. And like, that's a weird situation. That's just a weird situation in my opinion. I don't know if it's a mistake from the people who actually sent the contract to Haney, but I don't get why Haney would say that if Prograde didn't sign for that date. I don't know, man. I don't know. They don't make mistakes on contracts like fight days. Those things are quadruple check. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's looked through. Lawyers look through that and they skim through it. And the date is like the number one thing because that's the money. That's a money position thing. That's one of the things that will determine how much money you make and how much money you lose. Right. That's a very important element to the contract. So they're definitely not like messing that up. But let's see. Yo, guys, I might go live tomorrow. I'm not going to guarantee anything. I know it's not a big super fight that everybody want to watch. But I watch all the fights. So if I'm going to watch it, instead of just watching it by myself, might as well just watch it and be on here and talk. And we could talk about different things, I guess. It's whatever, but also commentate on the fight. So let's see what happens. Tomorrow, if I go live, of course, I'm going to let you guys know that I went live so you guys are aware. But other than some fights that I go live in, I'm always live Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern time here on Boxing Fanatico. We are on episode 43, and we are going to keep on powering through until episode 50, and then we're going to keep on powering through until episode 100. But we set episode goals. That's what we do here at Boxing Fanatico to keep that consistency and keep the fun going with you guys. So thank you for coming through. So we're going to go ahead and end the stream here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And of course, as always, guaranteed you'll see me on Monday. But if not, we'll see you tomorrow. Peace out, guys. Thank you for coming out. Have a good one.